What's up, guys? John here. Commercial real estate market is in very big trouble. Everyone knows that.
Commercial real estate has had a rough ride with higher interest rates.
Well, maturing commercial real estate debt is set to peak at nearly $1.3 trillion in 2027.
Vacancy rates are expected to drop below 18%. Office construction is also at its lowest level in over 3 decades.
But what they don't know are a series of new laws that are coming forward. They're already signed. They're going to be coming forward in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years that are going to wipe trillions of dollars of wealth away and change cities in America to likes which we could never imagine.
Home builders are leading the charge, using the latest technology to build large developments that use no energy at all.
From the outside, these look like your basic California condos, but inside, they are actually zero. Net zero, meaning they produce as much energy as they use.
In this video, I'm going to show you what these laws are, how it's going to impact not just commercial real estate, not just office, but single-family homes in Los Angeles, places like New York City.
Downtown Los Angeles, filled with deserted office buildings, workers fled to work at home.
Effort to fast-track the conversion of empty office space into housing is bringing together some unlikely allies.
It's not going to cure the housing crises.
And why I think this trend is just getting started, and what we can all do to capitalize on it. Because at the end of the day, inside of a wealth transfer, money's never lost. It's simply transferred from one group to another. And that's exactly what we're walking into right now, the staged collapse of commercial real estate that will soon spread to small residential multifamily, and then, of course, single family. Please hit the like button. When you do, YouTube will share the content, educate more people about what's going on. Take a look at this. Real estate giant CBRE Group plunged more than 12%. There have only been 2 periods of time where the stock has fallen that much, COVID and the GFC. 200,000 views, right? Everyone's talking about stories like this. You know, the billion-dollar company of one is coming faster than you think. You know, Sam Altman came out saying that, you know, in the past, a company would have 10,000, 20,000 employees to make $1 billion plus. And then it went to 100 employees, then 50. He believes it's going to be 1 or 2 employees. And that's what a lot of people think. Hey, you know, work from home, that's going to be the big killer for office. And in some ways, that is true. But when you start to look at the plan that's been designed for these big cities like LA and New York City, you'll be able to see clearly that it's way bigger than that. So, Los Angeles office vacancy rate, 23%, right? 23.4 to 23.9%. 2018, 2019, that was probably 4 or 5% office vacancy rate. So if you own an office building and you're renting 3 out of 4 units, and insurance and taxes are going up, and energy bills, everything is going up, you're in big trouble, especially if you have a large debt load. And a lot of them already do. They refinance debt at, 3% in 2021, 2022, and they have debt that they need to roll over the next year, 2 years, 3 years. So a lot of these operators are going to be in really, really big trouble. But this is how this all ties in. How does diversity, equity, and inclusion, how does that impact commercial real estate? Well, think about this. So Los Angeles, they're now saying that, they need a minimum wage of $30 per hour for hotel and airport workers. And the cost of living in LA is crazy, right? If you make $100,000 a year, you really can't afford to live in the city. Now, when you have them pushing up wages and the cost of living going up, most people can't afford a traditional 9-to-5. Most employers can't afford to pay an employee $100,000 a year. And so if they can't afford it, a lot of them are going to either move to remote work or they're going to downsize their business. Now, in New York City, they're doing the same thing. They're increasing taxes, saying that they need to basically tax the rich, and they're planning on bringing in $9 billion by taxing the rich, and they're going to continue to increase minimum wage inside of the city, right? They just increased 17%. Well, they're $17. Well, here's how this all works. As they're putting pressure on individual businesses, as they're putting pressure with policies to ensure that vacancy rates stay high, the operators struggle, the business owners struggle, and then this very valuable land becomes much more affordable. Now, when they discuss thousands of apartments set to take over empty office, this is just one day ago, LA Times, 4 hours ago, nearly 100-year-old downtown Windsor office building converted into residential units, soon accepting tenants, right? Thousands of apartments set to take over empty office buildings in LA, new ordinance yesterday, right? So as this begins to happen, a lot of people are going to jump out and say, John, you know how hard it is to convert office to apartments? You know, it's so difficult. What I believe they're going to do is you're going to start to see more shared communal bathrooms. They're going to try to find ways to make it work. And they're going to throw a lot of money at it, and a lot of people that get these contracts to do these conversions, they're going to get the buildings for next to nothing, and they're going to get filthy rich off of these contracts. I mean, look at this. So Newsom's plan for the residential office conversion. Governor Gavin Newsom plan for office residential conversions driven by legislation like SB 6 and AB 2011 focus on streamlining approvals and relaxing zoning rules to turn underutilized commercial space into housing, targeting a significant increase in housing supply. The goal to produce hundreds of thousands of new, often affordable units by 2033, right? In the next 7 years. Is he going to hit that goal? No. I think we all know that. But they're going to move in that direction. And if we already have a situation, $400 million they're putting in, where rents in LA are already softening. You know, Los Angeles rent dropped 4-year low. So if you have the situation where rents are already softening, insurance and taxes are continuing to go up, and then they're bringing forward more draconian rent control laws, and then you increase inventory after interest rates just went from 3% to 6 or 7%, that's a problem for a lot of these small multifamily landlords, a lot of leveraged landlords. Then you bring in the Holy Grail. This is on their website, by the way. So, you know, facts matter, sources matter. Planning.lacounty.gov, the climate action plan. Los Angeles County 2045 climate action plan was adopted by a board of supervisors. It took effect June 25th, 2024. The 2045 CAP is the County of Los Angeles plan for reducing greenhouse gas emissions in the unincorporated areas of the county. And so they have 40% by 2030, 50% 2035, 83% 2045. So here's how this looks. How much does it cost for a building owner to decarbonize, let's just say a small 10-unit multifamily property? Between $140,000 and $280,000, right? About $14,000 to $28,000 a unit to do that. And here, is this going to be for existing buildings or just new buildings? Los Angeles is actively retrofitting existing buildings to achieve carbon neutral operations by 2035, focusing on electrifying municipal facilities, libraries, retail or recreation centers, over $50 million in recent funding. However, incentives are available. So it starts with incentives are available between $14,000 and $28,000 a unit. California regulators are targeting high global warming, and they're saying that for residents swapping out aging air conditioners, they're recommending that high impact, low cost strategy. But how are they going to incentivize it? The $400 million, and then on top of this, they go into saying that this is not going to be an option, it's going to be law, it's required. So office to apartment conversions are generally better for the environment. So if you think about it, they're going to buy an investor or someone's going to buy an office building for cheap. They're going to be able to do the upgrades. They're going to be able to get really, really good financing, and they're going to partner with the city. And it's likely going to be a really, really good outcome for the people that get those contracts. But you just start to think about the leveraged landlords and operators in that market, they're going to be in trouble. They're doing the same thing in New York City, Local Law 97. So here, will it be required by law? Yes, it will be required by law to decarbonize buildings in Los Angeles, with mandates already in place for new construction and future requirements expected for existing buildings. As of April 2023, the city requirement for all new constructions to be all electric, while California's 2025 energy code strongly incentivizes for heat pumps. So these laws will be required to decarbonize your home in LA. Yes, it'll be required in Los Angeles. And so they say that there's no immediate law forces to rip out working gas appliances tomorrow. The regulatory framework is shifting to make all electric decarbonizing homes mandatory within the next decade, within the next 10 years. So I find this whole situation very fascinating. They say, you know, for an apartment unit before, they were saying, or earlier, $14,000 to $28,000 a unit. But, you know, units are 600, 700, 800 square feet. So if you're talking $14,000 to $28,000 on a small unit like that, if you have a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 square foot home, you know, do the math. It's probably going to be 100K plus. And the question just becomes, how many people are going to be able to take a hit on all aspects of life? The cost of living continuing to go up, wages softening, insurance continuing to go up, decarbonizing these decarbonization mandates, I think we're going to see a really, really, really big opportunity to create wealth, because most people they have no idea what's really happening in places like LA, New York City. It's coming to a lot of markets, right? But those that are prepared, that understand where this is heading, I believe are going to make like an unbelievable amount of money. A lot of people in 2021 said, we're going back to normal. I sold my building in LA in 2021 at the height. I missed the peak of the market by 45 days. Sold it at an incredible price. I'm not even going to say the price, an incredible price compared to what I bought it for. And if I were to try to have sold that property today, it would probably be $300,000 less than what I sold it for back then, right? And so this, I believe, is going to continue to put pressure downward on commercial and small residential multifamily in Los Angeles in the coming 3, 4, 5 years. And we're going to start seeing investors coming out of the woodworks to capitalize on this. What do you think about it? Let's have a conversation about this below, and catch you next video.